What's up, everybody? I'm Ellaman. Welcome to my first video here on the channel. It's now been well over a month since Pokemon announced the first expansion pass for not just Sword and Shield, but Pokemon in general. Rather than give us a sequel title like Platinum, Emerald, Black 2, White 2, they're giving us paid DLC, which is brand new for Pokemon, but definitely not new for Nintendo. If you play Smash Bros, they have the Fighter Pass, and I know they have something for Breath of the Wild. Thought what better first video than to go over these new adventures. So the first part of the expansion pass is coming out June 2020, and it's called the Isle of Armor. It's going to have a new area similar to the wild area, new Pokemon, new clothing, new features and items. The main new Pokemon for that first adventure is called Kubfu. Pure fighting type, it's the Wushu Pokemon. Kubfu is given to as sort of like a training partner as you go through your journey on the Isle of Armor. After enough training, Kubfu evolves into Urshifu, either its single strike style or its rapid strike style. Rapid strike being water fighting type, and single strike being fighting dark. The forms aren't version specific. A lot of people were thinking that they were because these forms do Gigantamax, and when they Gigantamax, rapid strike it has blue coloring, and single strike has red coloring, but that's more to do with their typing than the version. So everyone thought that the colors matched with Sword and with Shield, which they usually do. The form is determined based on how you train with your Kubfu and the decisions you make while you're training with it. Along with the new legendaries getting a Gigantamax form, your starter Pokemon, whether it be Scorbunny, Grookey, or Sobble, their fully evolved form now has the ability to Gigantamax, which I honestly think they should have done in the first place, and it makes me just as upset as your starter in X and Y not being able to Mega Evolve. Like, why not give the new region gimmick to your starter Pokemon? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Anyway, Rillaboom's drum set gets a lot bigger. He has new prehensile, like, leafy limbs to play the different parts of the drums. You know, the snare, I don't know the other parts of the drums. Cinderace has really, really long ears, and it's now standing on top of a huge fireball that kind of has a face in it. Teleon's tail is a lot longer, and it's now sitting on top of a sniper tower. So rather than going from having its little hand pistol, it's now a sniper. Another new Pokemon introduced is Galarian Slowpoke, who you can catch by going to Witcher Station if you've pre-ordered the DLC and expansion pass. You watch a small little like kind of cutscene and you battle a low-level Slowpoke. Mine was I think level 12. So it's nothing more than really a tease because you can't even evolve it into Slowbro or Slowking until you have the item for it, which you can only get on the Isle of Armor. So Slowpoke loses its water typing for Psychic and gains this appearance due to eating large amounts of Galarica seeds. Slowpoke isn't the only returning Pokemon, as these few, along with a total of 100 other returning Pokemon, make their way into your Galar team. Upon arriving in the Isle of Armor, you'll meet Mustard, your new master. He was a champion in Galar for 18 years and even trained Leon. Along with Mustard, you'll have a new rival depending on your version of the game. Clara, a poison-type user in Sword, and Avery, a psychic-type user in Shield, both of whom train under Mustard as well. The website doesn't exactly say if they'll stick around till the Crown Tundra. The website does say, though, that you'll see new people and meet new rivals throughout your adventure in both expansion passes, or through both parts. Let's go ahead and talk about the Crown Tundra now, which releases in fall of 2020. With the Crown Tundra, you get a new area to explore, new Pokemon, a new co-op play, and new clothing. You, a 10-year-old kid, is made the leader of an exploration team, being able to explore inside of raid dens with your friends rather than just glimpsing inside of them. Just like the Isle of Armor, the Crown Tundra also has a new legendary, the psychic type, I can't say this right, Calyrex, who used to rule all of Galar and can see into the past, present, and future, and for some reason has a Triforce all over itself. Also, just like the Isle of Armor, more returning Pokemon live in the Crown Tundra. Looking at the choices for both DLCs, they make a lot of sense, more or less. Bringing back Pokemon like Kingdra in the tropical environment, a lot more ice type in a desolate one makes a lot of sense, and honestly, this is probably how they'll seep old Pokemon back into the games, by cleverly, quote-unquote, placing them into DLCs that make it look like they're thought-out choices, when actually probably any Pokemon could have easily been brought back. Now, that's all for what's confirmed on the Pokemon website, but in the Nintendo Direct, we saw a bit more than that. First off, we have Gigantamax forms of Blastoise, whose shell gets substantially larger, has cannons all over it, and Venusaur, who's now completely covered by the flower on its back. So there you go. Everyone that was upset that only Charizard got G-Max, the Squirtle and Bulbasaur stands can sleep peacefully now. Also pandering to Gen 1ers, like always, they give glaring forms to the Kanto legendary birds Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, and honestly, I'm not too hot on them as everyone else is. Articuno looks like a Ben 10 alien, Moltres looks kinda derpy, and Zapdos I actually kinda like. I suspect them to be Ice Psychic because of the posture and blank eyes of Articuno, Fire Ghost going all in on the Phoenix base and the idea of being reborn for Moltres, and Electric Ground as it looks like a flightless Roadrunner for Zapdos. My theory, because these forms look a little more crude and barbaric than the Kanto forms, is that these are actually the true and original forms of the bird trio, similar to Galarian Meowth. Speaking of previous legendaries, the 3 Regis are coming back, along with other past legendaries, and are welcoming 2 new Regis that many are labeling Regivolt and Regidrake, whose types haven't been explicitly announced, but can be inferred from their designs.
Alright guys, I know this was a short video, but basically I just wanted to get this out there, get the channel set up.
For my next video, I'm planning on doing my hopes and predictions for the DLC, and possibly what they mean for future games, or I might do that in a whole nother video, because it's a whole lot, trust me. So, with that being said, I will see you all next time.